Alrighty guys, so we made it here at the Buckingham Preserve. If you guys remember from the last video, I talked about this being the Army Air Base training facility here in Fort Myers for World War II. So we're actually going to be able to see some of the old Jeep tracks training areas, the bunker training areas, and I can't remember if there was anything else. So let's dive in and see what we can find. I am so excited. Let's go. So from what I understand, this is mostly going to be the pine flatwoods that we've been going on. Maybe we'll see some cypress trees, but for the most part, I think it's going to be the pine woods. And like last week, this is actually a horse trail, and then it breaks off to just a human trail, or a hiking trail. That makes more sense, I guess. So I don't think it's in the middle of the work week. It's Wednesday today, so I really don't think we're gonna see any horses out or people riding horses. We might see some out in the wilderness, so to speak. You know, last week we saw some farms and some horses on there, but out on the trail itself, I really don't think we'll see any. So I believe they said this ends up being about a 7-mile hike. Hopefully we'll be able to knock out most of it. I don't know. It's supposed to get up into the 80s today. But I do have, obviously, water, sunscreen, all that fun stuff. So if we do stay out here for a little bit, I got the supplies. But so far, not much. Just a lot of sand. And it's like walking through quicksand through here. It's a little tough, but we're not complaining. So this tree right here is a melaleuca tree. The way you can tell it's a melaleuca tree is the paper-like bark. Now if I was closer, I could literally just peel the bark up like a sheet of paper, sheet by sheet. And it's an invasive tree species here. It's not native to Florida. I think it's Australia. And a lot of these preserves, it's there because it's just constantly been taken over and taken over and taken over. So what they're actually trying to do is to remove it, and because it's slowly killing all of the native trees. So they're actually going through and tearing down a bunch of trees. Tearing down a bunch of trees to help get rid of it. So all of our native trees can continue growing and continue to build a habitat that's actually we're supposed to have. Fun fact of the day. So I have all trails downloaded on my phone right now, and this is where the old Jeep tracks were. So I actually want to do some research to figure out what they used the Jeep tracks for. Was it just driving the Jeeps? Was it I don't know. I want to do some research to figure it out, but this is actually one of the Jeep tracks it shows. Unfortunately, I don't see anything reminiscent of maybe old tracks, training grounds for the Jeeps, but it's actually really cool that they have it here to show that, hey, this is where it used to be. So let's keep diving in and see what else we can find from this old Army Air Base. I know the lighting's kind of bad, the sun's behind me, but I did a little research, and the Jeep tracks were actually used for moving target practice. So, and then this is actually the trail we're walking on right now, according to the map, is actually a part of one of the old Jeep tracks. It was the second one. It was the bigger of the two. So when we came through, we were walking on the horse trail. So hopefully, now that we're more on the hiking trail, we can see some more of the monuments. There's supposed to be towards the trailhead. It's actually the supply line that you can walk across again as well. So let's keep diving in and see what we can find. So we made it around the corner of the Jeep track too. So there's two Jeep tracks. There's a smaller one and then a large one. So we're on Jeep track 2 right now. And I mean, while it doesn't like show what used to be here quite yet, hopefully it does. I mean, I can just imagine watching like the old World War II movies of the Jeeps and they're just driving around in them. I don't know, if I can find a clip, I'll put it here. You know, it's crazy to think. So, I mean, World War II was almost 100 years ago. It was 80. I can't think of the math off the top of my head. 1945 is when it ended, obviously, as everyone knows. But, I mean, to think my great-grandfather fought in World War II in the Navy, and then, you know, now, obviously, he wasn't from Fort Myers when he was there fighting. But now, like, I'm walking through it, and it's, I mean, I can picture, like, what it would be like. Like, they got the little metal steel caps. They have the Jeeps, you know, chucking along and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can find these bunkers